scary as that may sound, is just to play a straight up game against Bomber. Of course, Protoss is good if you stabilize and if you make it to a certain phase in the game and you get your high templates out, you get upgrades out above all, and you get charged, then you have a realistic shot whether you're playing against Bomber or not. Arthur is an excellent Protoss player himself. He made it to top 16 on the Korean ladder. He made it over here. He was able to defeat Haas, who's a fantastic Protoss player, 2-0 early today. So Ben, I think his best shot is just to be a man, play straight up.
And we'll see if that is what ends up happening, or if he's going to try something cheeky once again. Here we are on Yansu, where we can see spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner, the Red Terran player representing Red Bull. His name is Bomber. And he has really benefited from and enjoyed the star treatment that comes with being a Red Bull athlete.
Jumping out of airplanes and stuff. I won't say star planes, that would be really sick.
The next level.
Sit on the star and fly around.
Take him up to the edge of space and just push him out. It's Bomber.
Bomber is like, so I heard this other guy jumped like from the edge of the atmosphere. I want to go higher. I want to jump from a star. And they're like, well, Bomber,
I don't know, man.
it might be a little risky. I don't care, I want to be the first man.
I think the coolest thing that Bomber gets to enjoy with Red Bull is like when he goes to events, they get him his own place. They put a computer in his room, so he has a private practice area. He just kind of, he gets the real star treatment. Like, that's really what I mean.
Well, Ben, we were thinking about Artie being cheeky, but it seems like, of course, Artie are blue Protoss spawning on the right top side of this map, representing Team ESC Icy Box, which is, there is an Icy Box in Berlin, at least there was 5 years ago, I'm not sure if it's still there. He's actually going to be the one who is going to get cheesed as Bomber.
That is such a blatant proxy. If Arthur puts a pylon there, he's going to see it.
Yep, and there is a good chance he sees it, because the majority of the times Reapers will try to hop out over here. This is really risky, because if Arthur, his gauge was 13, I believe. If Arthur makes, like, you know, no Stalker, Chrono Boost out a few too many probes, this could really spiral out of control. If you lose one of your Stalkers, the second Rex is going down as well, but that is at main. I think that is just to be there so you can have a few Marines in case Arthur decides to send his units across the map and be like, alright, you might have a Reaper or two, I'm just gonna run across the map and my Mothership Core will kill everything over here. Bomber will have some anti-air.
Still no good scout from Arthur, and that probe might show up after the barracks is done. Of course, by that point in the game, that first Reaper might be out in his base and he'll realize what's going on.
There is no Zealot in production. Of course, the Zealot is not going to kill the Reaper, but the Zealot does help you to buy a little bit of time, force that Reaper to run around. So if you ask me, I would always like to have a Zealot against this build, just because it buys you some time before that Mothership Core is out, and above all, before that Stalker is out, as Stalker is pretty much the only unit that's going to kill a Reaper.
Bomber had success with his Reapers against Jadong. We'll see how they pay off for him here against Arthur, as that first one does go ahead and show up. And how quickly is Arthur going to react? Immediately pulling probes off the line. Immediately losing a probe.
Not enough probes, I think. Okay, now he's putting a few more. That's the right way to do it. Nice micro. He only lost a single probe so far, and it's kind of inevitable because it's not fair. He has nothing that is as quick as the Reaper, that is as good as the Reaper. So it is only logical. Well, that the Reaper is going to be close because it has to hop down those edges, but it will survive. This was reasonably successful so far for Bomber.
Second Reaper is now out on the map. There does not look like there's going to be a third Reaper.
He has vision. Oh, Arthur, you're falling for this, and Bomber is going to take this opportunity to once more deal economic damage, maybe pick up 2 more probe kills, at least one of them. Well done by Bomber there, realizing that the units are out of position and he can go for that mineral line immediately.
Is that a third Reaper? Or is that a Marine he's making?
He's making Marines at home.
Okay. I thought I saw that in barracks working, but my eyes were playing tricks on me.
It was working, but it was working on the Marine.
Command Center is going down in the National Bomber. Those Reapers still alive, but with Stalkers out, they've kind of the window for them to do damage has kind of closed. Income tab shows us that Arthur's still ahead in workers, and of course those Terran mules will help close that gap.
But this is a good position for Terran to be in. 21 against 22. That's excellent. Normally Protoss will be 3-4 workers ahead because of the Chrono Boost. That normally goes down on the Nexus. Twilight Constant is going to be the follow-up for Arthur. I'm not sure if this is necessarily what he wanted to do, but I think he might be afraid of like crazy Reaper madness, because let's be honest, he hasn't had the greatest of scouts ever since it happened. So sometimes what happens is suddenly you run into a guy who made 6 or 7 Reapers, and then your Stalkers don't have enough DPS to deal with that, and then you're just dead, you sit there. So Blink can be an excellent way to deal with that, but considering the fact that it's not the case, he's also kind of putting himself in a position where again he has to make stuff happen with those Blink Stalkers, and I'm not sure if that's going to be very successful.
Reaper's going to try once more, but
I think
Probes this time getting a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, but the most important thing for Bomber is that he saw the Twilight console. That's everything he needed to see over there. He
3
saw
more
it.
gates going down, so Arthur's not doing this the eco way.
No.
He's doing this the YOLO way.
Well, you know, it can always work. Forget Blink Stalker is strong. If Bomber makes one mistake, like we all know, Terran is not allowed to make any mistakes against this build. This build is going to be a little weaker in the near future. But
Now,
not
in the
yet.
last game, Bomber made a lot of extra safety bunkers. This time we only see the one at the front. He's also getting a missile turret, perhaps afraid of Dark Templar. That would be a misread.
Yep. It's not the biggest of investments, and he gets +1 attack really quick anyways. He needs to repair that bunker though. Like if that bunker falls, then Bomber's hope of winning this game will fall. He starts producing Marauders, so that is a correct call.
I'm a little worried. I feel like he's underprepared at this point. He does bring 2 SCVs off the line.
It's arriving a lot quicker this game.
Okay,
so
now there's the bunker in the main.
yeah.
So he's starting to piece it together. Does he see those stalkers yet?
Yeah, I think he saw. Yeah, he sees them. They're in range. He knows exactly what's up. You shouldn't forget he looks less prepared because last game it was a 2-base blink and this game is a 1-base blink. That's why it looks like Bomber is not as prepared as he was, but it's just a different phase in the game.
Yeah. Notice how he pulls SCVs up in his main as well. That's just one more cog in the machine to disrupt the AI of those stalkers and to give Bomber a little bit more fighting strength.
Okay, now this is like that crazy phase where he's a little worried. It's like, am I doing this right? Am I overreacting or am I underreacting? I'm pretty sure I'm doing the right thing, right? Or is he just tricking me?
a lot of workers off the line.
Yeah, but with double orbital, that's completely okay.
Income tab actually showed us that he's still out mining. Remember that Arthur's just on 1 base. Now those SCVs go back to work, though.
This is the ultimate stare down. Bomber is still staring those stalkers in the eye. Does he still know that this is coming? There goes that forward blink. There's plenty of SCVs.
Oh, and a great force field, though. And these SCVs are able to repair, but the bunker is going to fall. Second bunker gets loaded up immediately, but...
that repair, that bunker is not going to fall.
There's no second force field. And that bunker is not going to fall. You're exactly right.
And just surviving one time is normally all you need against that 1-base blink all-in. As Stim is ready now, so Arthur has to be very careful. He can't make any mistakes, but he still has a lot of micro potential in his army. As the Marauder numbers are not overwhelming yet, but 6 Marauders and 18 Marines. I almost feel bad that Bomber is out of the woods. He's going to have to make one more good hold, but he still has SCVs in position. These mules should go back to work, but look at the positioning. It's smooth. I don't think that he can really be caught out of position anywhere. Combat shield is about to finish up as well.
Arthur looking like he might be thinking of expanding now.
He knows.
But
he knows he has to go for it. Force field is once more going to land. Big forward blink, but already 1 stalker or 2 stalkers down, but he will get both bunkers.
This is a better attack here from Arthur.
No, Bomber is attacking the rocks. No, he's still attacking the rocks.
There's 2 Marines deciding that they just want to get out of there. But that force field does expire, and Arthur forced back once more. Supply-wise, it's Bomber who has more stuff. And he will go ahead and shut down the reinforcing pylon. He kills the probe. That's going to kill all the aggression.
Well, it's a big stim, and medevacs are a long way off, so he has to be really careful with these stims. Like, Bomber is doing a good job, Ben, but he has no medevacs like he has in the last game, so this is not as over as the previous game. I still think this is looking pretty good for Bomber, and I don't think he should lose. But Arthur is doing a really good job. Couple of excellent blinks there, which is pretty tough. I know it looks easy, but against stimmed bio, it's actually pretty tough to micro your stalkers.
Supply-wise, it is kind of close. Arthur beginning to mine out his main base. He's running out of steam. A new reinforcing pylon goes up, so this is going to be 1 base blink until it's over.
One base or die trying.
Yep, exactly.
Still no factory for Bomber. This is the only thing that keeps Arthur sort of in this game. Bomber is not really mining gas. He's like in a little gas that he is mining. He's using well, he's going to throw up a sensor tower. Nice to know. Bomber is reading Reddit.
Yep. The Reddit solution holds strong.
And Arthur is just going to go, you know, he's not going to give up. He's never going to give us up. Bomber does not know. This is the Arthur's moment. That's a really big thing. It's a lot of stalkers, 21. There's a good chance some of them will clump up before they get out of there.
Enough units. Bomber wants to be sure that when he engages with the right number. And there's the big stem. Arthur's just going to blink out immediately, baiting another stem.
Yep. Well,
he's getting closer and closer to solving it.
Still, though, like you said, Arthur is going to mine out his main soon. That probe that was once upon a time sent down to warp in a Nexus got a day off. Or more like the game off. He's like, we don't need a second base. You can go home. Oh, really, boss? Thank you.
You just have to warp in a building. It really just takes a second. Nah. Not today.
Okay, extra refineries are going down right now, so Bomber is probably realizing that this is madness as well. I mean, the front over here is not going to die. A few SUVs might fall, but there's no way that he's going to be able to run through 4 bunkers. There's a 5th bunker, and there is a 6th bunker, and above all, there's that sensor tower right now, which just makes Bomber's life a little bit easier. If you're unfamiliar with StarCraft 2, the sensor tower will still display these units, but then as exclamation marks. So it's a lot easier for Bomber to keep track on where these targets go, without actually seeing them.
Yeah, basically makes it impossible for Arthur to maneuver around and blink up into the main base without Bomber knowing exactly what's happening. So he's got perfect vision on this army at this point in the game, and Arthur is now...
Would you say that Arthur is sort of like the Korean Elfie?
If he was the Korean Elfie, he'd win this game. As Bomber does finally take this last
this
fight.
This is pretty good for Arthur, I think. So far, a lot of the units from Bomber were not fighting.
SCV's also not able to get involved. Marauders, though... Well, with that next round of blinks, did Arthur really do it?
He did.
Korean Elfie? Yeah, maybe it is so.
It's over. 17 Stalkers against 0 bio units. GG is called. Arthur wins. How many?